Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody watched my video about the prayer for Joe Biden. I only got 4 views. I was hoping it would go like viral, but that's okay. I said it, and I believe in the prayer, and I believe it will work. And after this, I'll say it privately again for him. And we'll start today with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our trespasses. Forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Dear Lord, please make Joe Biden strong. Please heal him. Please cure him. Take his pain away. Take his cancer away. Give him life. Please, Jesus. Amen. And today's prayer comes from, again, Proverbs 23:18. So let me write that down. Yep. If you have trouble spelling out Proverbs, pro, and verbs. Proverbs. It's a compound word. Okay, today's prayer, of course, you have to read Proverbs 23:18 again. Like I said, if I get those several times, I just read that, not the whole chapter. Okay. Abba, Father, nothing can keep me from fulfilling the destiny that you have obtained for me from the beginning. Nothing can keep you from fulfilling your promise in my life. In Jesus' name, amen. Today's going to be just like yesterday, nice and short. Short and sweet. See, I did my bangs all nice. Because I knew my sister wouldn't do it. It's not what I wanted. Proverbs. There we go. 23. Proverbs 23:18 is, for then you will have a future and your hope will not be dashed. Yep. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Now to the daily verse. It's kind of funny. When I first started this, I would write out the whole passage. Now I just write the name of the passage and the numbers, and that's it. Because my dad said, why write the whole thing down? There we go. All right. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance or his stature, because I have rejected him. Humans do not see what the Lord sees, for humans see what is visible, but the Lord sees the heart. That was weird. Yeah. Oh boy. Yep. And now Where did we leave off? Hold on. Let's see where we left off. John 7 to 12. So we'll do. Why did I say John? Josh, wait a minute. So we go from 13, 1, 2, 3, 13 to 18 today. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm like slacking off with the reading, but I follow along.
Chapter 13. Joshua was now old, advanced in age, and the Lord said to him, "You have become old, advanced in age, but a great deal of the land remains to be possessed. This is the land that remains, all the districts of the Philistines and the Geshurites, from the Shihar east of Egypt to the border of Ekron on the north, considered to be Canaanite territory. The 5 Philistine rulers of Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron, as well as the Avites in the south. All the land of the Canaanites, from Arah of the Sidonians to Aphek, as far as the border of the Amorites, the land of the Gebalites, and all Lebanon east from Baal Gad, below Mount Hermon to the entrance of Hamath. All the inhabitants of the hill country, from Lebanon to Misrephoth-Maim, all the Sidonians. I will drive them out before the Israelites. Only distribute the land as an inheritance for Israel, as I have commanded you. Therefore divide this land as an inheritance to the 9 tribes and half the tribe of Manasseh. With the other half of the tribe of Manasseh, the Reubenites and Gadites had received the inheritance Moses gave them beyond the Jordan to the east, just as Moses the Lord's servant had given them.
Good.
From Aroer on the rim of the Arnon Valley, along with the city in the middle of the valley, all the Medeba plateau as far as Dibon, and all the cities of King Sihon of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon to the border of the Ammonites. Also Gilead, and the territory of the Geshurites and Maacathites, all Mount Hermon, and all Bashan to Salakah, the whole kingdom of Og in Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and Edrei. He was one of the remaining Rephaim. Moses struck them down and drove them out, but the Israelites did not drive out the Geshurites and Maacathites. So Geshur and Maacath still live in Israel today. He did not, however, give any inheritance to the tribe of Levi. This was their inheritance, just as he had promised, the offerings made by fire to the Lord, the God of Israel. To the tribe of Reuben's descendants by their clans, Moses gave this as their territory. From Aroer on the rim of the Arnon Valley, along with the city in the middle of the valley, the whole plateau as far as Medeba, with Heshbon and all its cities on the plateau, Dibon, Bamoth Baal, Beth Baal Meon, Jahaz, Kedemoth, Mephaath, Kiriathaim, Sibmah, Zereth Shahar on the hill in the valley, Beth Peor, the slopes of Pisgah, and Beth Jeshemoth, all the cities of the plateau, and all the kingdom of King Sihon of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon. Moses had killed him and the chiefs of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, the princes of Sihon who lived in the land. Along with those the Israelites put to death, they also killed the diviner Balaam, son of Beor, with the sword. The border of the Reubenites was the Jordan and its plain. This was the inheritance of the Reubenites by their clans, with the cities and their settlements. To the tribe of the Gadites by their clans, Moses gave this as their territory: Jazer and all the cities of Gilead, and half the land of the Ammonites from Aroer near Rabbah, from Heshbon to Ramath Mizpah and Betonim, and from Mahanaim to the border of Debir. In the valley, Beth Haram, Beth Nimrah, Succoth, and Zaphon. The rest of the kingdom of King Sihon of Heshbon. Their land also included the Jordan and its territory as far as the edge of the Sea of Kinnereth on the east side of the Jordan. This was the inheritance of the Gadites by their clans, with the cities and their settlements. And to half the tribe of Manasseh, that is, to half the tribe of Manasseh's descendants by their clans. Moses gave this as their territory. From Mahanaim through all Bashan, all the kingdom of King Og of Bashan, including all of
Hi, Megan. How are you? Welcome to my devotions.
Jair's villages that are in Bashan, 60 cities. But half of Gilead and Og's royal cities in Bashan, Ashtaroth and Edrei, are for the descendants of Machir, son of Manasseh, that is, half the descendants of Machir by their clans. These were the portions Moses gave them on the plains of Moab beyond the Jordan east of Jericho. But Moses did not give a portion to the tribe of Levi. The Lord, the God of Israel, was their inheritance, just as he had promised them.
Hold on, guys. I have to try to highlight this again because the app is having some technical difficulties. No. Okay.
Chapter 14. The Israelites received these portions that the priest Eleazar, Joshua son of Nun, and the family heads of the Israelite tribes gave them in the land of Canaan. Their inheritance
Hey, Angels Melody. Welcome to my devotions. We're listening to Joshua 14.
was by lot, as the Lord commanded through Moses for the 9.5 tribes, because Moses had given the inheritance to the 2.5 tribes beyond the Jordan. But he gave no inheritance among them to the Levites. The descendants of Joseph became 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. No portion of
You
the
know
land
what,
was given
guys?
to the Levites except cities to live in, along with pasture lands for their cattle and livestock. So the Israelites did as
I am going to. I ended it only for one reason. I'm rebooting my iPad. I closed the app because there was a problem with the app. So, because when I highlight it, it wasn't saving it. And I save it and other people will read it as well. So just give me a couple minutes to fix that. Everybody hit that like button, please. It can read out. It did work a little bit. I'm not doing my right nostril. Nope. Okay, let's go back to the other one. Yeah, see, it didn't even. Let's see if I can save it. How's that? Yeah, it did it. Okay, let me just highlight number 13. And I'll get to the other one. Sorry. Here we go.
Chapter 14. The Israelites received these portions that the priest Eleazar, Joshua son of Nun, and the family heads of the Israelite tribes gave them in the land of Canaan. Their inheritance was by lot, as the Lord commanded through Moses for the 9.5 tribes, because Moses had given the inheritance to the 2.5 tribes beyond the Jordan. But he gave no inheritance among them to the Levites. The descendants of Joseph became 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim.
It's working.
No portion of the land was given to the Levites except cities to live in, along with pasture lands for their cattle and livestock. So the Israelites did as the Lord commanded Moses, and they divided the land. The descendants of Judah approached Joshua at Gilgal, and Caleb son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said to him, "You know what the Lord promised Moses, the man of God, at Kadesh Barnea about you and me. I was 40 years old when Moses, the Lord's servant, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to scout the land, and I brought back an honest report. My brothers who went with me caused the people to lose heart, but I followed the Lord my God completely. On that day Moses swore to me, the land where you have set foot will be an inheritance for you and your descendants forever, because you have followed the Lord my God completely. As you see, the Lord has kept me alive these 45 years, as he promised, since the Lord spoke this word to Moses while Israel was journeying in the wilderness. Here I am today, 85 years old. I am still as strong today as I was the day Moses sent me out. My strength for battle and for daily tasks is now as it was then. Now give me this hill country the Lord promised me on that day, because you heard then that the Anakim are there, as well as large fortified cities. Perhaps the Lord will be with me, and I will drive them out as the Lord promised." Then Joshua blessed Caleb son of Jephunneh, and gave him Hebron as an inheritance. Therefore Hebron still belongs to Caleb son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, as an inheritance today.
That's awesome, angels. Yay! So you're going to have a baby cousin soon. That's awesome. Babies are awesome.
Because he followed the Lord, the God of Israel, completely. Hebron's name used to be Kiriath Arba. Arba was the greatest man among the Anakim. After this, the land had rest from war. Chapter 15. Now the allotment for the tribe of the descendants of Judah by their clans was in the southernmost region, south to the wilderness of Zin and over to the border of Edom. Their southern border began at the tip of the Dead Sea on the South Bay, and went south of the Scorpion's Ascent, proceeded to Zin, ascended to the south of Kadesh Barnea, passed Hezron, ascended to Adar, and turned to Karka. It proceeded to Asmon and to the brook of Egypt, and so the border ended at the Mediterranean Sea. This is your southern border.
I bet you can't wait.
Now the eastern border was along the Dead Sea to the mouth of the Jordan. The border on the north side was from the bay of the sea at the mouth of the Jordan. It ascended to Beth Hogla, proceeded north to Beth Araba,
these words.
and ascended to the stone of Bohan, son of Reuben. Then the border ascended to Debir from the valley of Achor, turning north to the Gilgal that is opposite the ascent of Adumim, which is south of the ravine. The border proceeded to the waters of En-Shemesh and ended at En-Rogel. From there the border ascended Ben Hinnom Valley to the southern Jebusite slope, that is Jerusalem, and ascended to the top of the hill that faces Hinnom Valley on the west, at the northern end of Rephaim Valley. From the top of the hill the border curved to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, went to the cities of Mount Ephron, and then curved to Baalah, that is Kiriath Jearim. The border turned westward from Baalah to Mount Seir, went to the northern slope of Mount Jearim, that is Kesalon, descended to Beth Shemesh, and proceeded to Timnah. Then the border reached to the slope north of Ekron. curved to Shikharon, proceeded to Mount Baalah, went to Jabneel, and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. Now the western border was the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. This was the boundary of the descendants of Judah around their clans. He gave Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the following portion among the descendants of Judah, based on the Lord's instruction to Joshua. Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak. Caleb drove out from there the 3 sons of Anak, Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai, descendants of Anak. From there he marched against the inhabitants of Debir, which...
Good morning, Fifi. Welcome to my devotions. Hit the like button, everybody.
used to be called Kiriath Sepher. And Caleb said, "Whoever attacks and captures Kiriath Sepher, I will give my daughter Axa to him as a wife." So Othniel, son of Caleb's brother Kenaz, captured it, and Caleb gave his daughter Axa to him as a wife. When she arrived, she persuaded Othniel to ask her father for a field. As she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her, "What can I do for you?" She replied, "Give me a blessing. Since you have given me land in the Negev, give me the springs also." So he gave her the upper and lower springs. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the descendants of Judah by their clans. These were the outermost cities of the tribe of the descendants of Judah toward the border of Edom in the Negev: Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kaina, Dimona, Adadah, Kedesh, Hazar, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Bealoth, Hazar Hadadah, Kiriath Hezron, that is Hazar, Amam, Shema, Moleda, Hazar Gaddah, Heshmon, Beth Pelet, Hazar Shual, Beersheba, Biziothia, Baalah, Ayim, Ezem, Eltolad, Kesel, Harma, Ziklag, Madmannah, Sansannah, Lebaoth, Shilhim, Agin, and Rimmon, 29 cities in all, with their settlements. In the Judean foothills: Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, in Ganim, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Soko, Azekah, Shearaim, Adathaim, Gedera, and Gederathaim, 14 cities with their settlements: Zenam, Hadashah, Migdalgad, Dillon, Mizpeh, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Caban, Lamam, Kitlish, Gederoth, Beth-Dagon, Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their settlements: Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Iftah, Ashna, Nezib, Keilah, Akzib, and Maresha, 9 cities with their settlements. Ekron with its surrounding villages and settlements. From Ekron to the sea, all the cities near Ashdod with their settlements. Ashdod with its surrounding villages and settlements. Gaza with its surrounding villages and settlements to the brook of Egypt and the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. In the hill country, Shamer, Jatur, Soka, Dana, Kiriath Sana, that is Debir, Anab, Ishtimo, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their settlements. Arab, Duma, Eshan, Janim, Beth-Tapua, Aphekah, Humta, Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, and Zyar, 9 cities with their settlements. Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Juttah, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their settlements. Hahul, Beth-zur, Gedar, Maarath, Beth-anath, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their settlements. Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their settlements. In the wilderness, Beth Araba, Middin, Sekaka, Nibshan, the city of salt, and in Gedi, 6 cities with their settlements. But the descendants of Judah could not drive out the Jebusites who lived in Jerusalem. So the Jebusites still live in Jerusalem, among the descendants of Judah today. Chapter 16. The allotment for the descendants of Joseph went from the Jordan at Jericho to the waters of Jericho on the east, through the wilderness ascending from Jericho into the hill country of Bethel. From Bethel it went to Luz and proceeded to the border of the Archites by Ataroth. It then descended westward to the border of the Japhletites as far as the border of lower Beth-horon, then to Gezer, and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. So Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Joseph, received their inheritance. This was the territory of the descendants of Ephraim by their clans. The border of their inheritance went from Ataroth Adar on the east to upper Beth-horon. In the
Be
north, the
careful.
border went westward from Mikmethath. It turned eastward from Taanath Shiloh and passed it east of Genoa. From Genoa, it descended to Ataroth
That is funny, angels, but be careful just in case one of my young friends come in the chat. But you can leave that. That's funny.
and Nearah, and then reached Jericho and went to the Jordan.
But I know what you mean.
From Tapua, the border went westward along the brook of Cana and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the descendants of Ephraim by their clans, together with the cities set apart for the descendants of Ephraim, within the inheritance of the descendants of Manasseh, all these cities with their settlements. However, they did not drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer. So the Canaanites still live in Ephraim today, but they are forced laborers.
Okay. I am going to read the last two. Just let me highlight it. Angels Melody, I'll be working on your picture today. Because I have other projects that started and I'm not done yet. Okay. Joshua 17. West Mosaic inheritance. This was the allotment for the tribe of Mosiah as Joseph's firstborn, Gilead in Besh. Oh, you know what? No. These words not.
Chapter 17. This was the allotment for the tribe of Manasseh as Joseph's firstborn. Gilead and Bashan were given to Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, and the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war. So the allotment was for the rest of Manasseh's descendants by their clans, for the sons of Abiezer, Helek, Asriel, Shechem, Hepher, and Shemida. These are the male descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph, by their clans. Now Zelophehad, son of Hepher, son of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, had no sons, only daughters. These are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah.
Milcah.
They came before the priest Eleazar, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders, saying, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our male relatives." So they gave them an inheritance among their father's brothers, in keeping with the Lord's instruction. As a result, 10 tracts fell to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which are beyond the Jordan, because Manasseh's daughters received an inheritance among his sons. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of Manasseh's sons. The border of Manasseh went from Asher to Mikmethath, near Shechem. It then went southward toward the inhabitants of Tapua. The region of Tapua belonged to Manasseh, but Tapua itself on Manasseh's border belonged to the descendants of Ephraim. From there the border descended to the brook of Cana. South of the brook, cities belonged to Ephraim among Manasseh's cities. Manasseh's border was on the north side of the brook and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. Ephraim's territory was to the south, and Manasseh's to the north, with the sea as its border. They reached Asher on the north, and Issachar on the east. Bethshean, Ibleam, and the inhabitants of Dar with their surrounding villages. The inhabitants of Indar, Taanach, and
Thank you,
Megiddo,
Angel.
the 3 cities of Naphath, with their surrounding villages. The descendants of Manasseh could not possess these cities, because the Canaanites were determined to stay in this land. However, when the Israelites grew stronger, they imposed forced labor on the Canaanites, but did not drive them out completely. Joseph's descendants said to Joshua, "Why did you give us only one tribal allotment as an inheritance? We have many people, because the Lord has been blessing us greatly." "If you have so many people," Joshua replied to them, "go to the forest and clear an area for yourselves there in the land of the Perizzites and the Rephaim, because Ephraim's hill country is too small for you." But the descendants of Joseph said, "The hill country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who inhabit the valley area have iron chariots, both at Bethshean with its surrounding villages and in the Jezreel valley." So Joshua replied to Joseph's family, that is Ephraim and Manasseh, "You have many people and great strength. You will not have just one allotment, because the hill country will be yours also. It is a forest. Clear it, and its outlying areas will be yours. You can also drive out the Canaanites, even though they have iron chariots and are strong." Chapter 18. The entire Israelite community assembled at Shiloh and set up the tent of meeting there. The land had been subdued before them, but 7 tribes among the Israelites were left who had not divided up their inheritance. So Joshua asked the Israelites, "How long will you delay going out to take possession of the land that the Lord, the God of our fathers, gave you? Appoint for yourselves from each tribe, and I will send them out. They are to go and survey the land, write a description of it for the purpose of their inheritance, and return to me. Then they are to divide it into 7 portions. Judah is to remain in its territory in the south, and Joseph's family in their territory in the north. When you have written a description of the 7 portions of land and brought it to me, I will cast lots for you here in the presence of the Lord our God. But the Levites among you do not get a portion, because their inheritance is the priesthood of the Lord. Gad, Reuben, and half the tribe of Manasseh have taken their inheritance beyond the Jordan to the east, which Moses, the Lord's servant, gave them." As the men prepared to go, Joshua commanded them to write down a description of the land, saying, "Go and survey the land, write a description of it, and return to me. I will then cast lots for you here in Shiloh in the presence of the Lord." So the men left, went through the land, and described it by towns in a document of 7 sections. They returned to Joshua at the camp in Shiloh. Joshua cast lots for them at Shiloh in the presence of the Lord, where he distributed the land to the Israelites according to their divisions. The lot came up for the tribe of Benjamin's descendants by their clans, and their allotted territory lay between Judah's descendants and Joseph's descendants. Their border on the north side began at the Jordan, ascended to the slope of Jericho on the north, through the hill country westward, and ended at the wilderness around Bethaven. From there the border went toward Luz, to the southern slope of Luz, that is Bethel. It then went down by Adaroth Adar, over the hill south of lower Beth Horon. On the west side, from the hill facing Beth Horon on the south, the border curved, turning southward, and ended at Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, a city of the descendants of Judah. This was the west side of their border. The south side began at the edge of Kiriath Jearim, and the border extended westward.
That's all I could take.
It went to the spring at the waters of Nephtoah. The border descended to the foot of the hill that faces Ben Hinnom Valley, at the northern end of Rephaim Valley. It ran down Hinnom Valley toward the south Jebusite slope, and downward to Enrogel. It curved northward and went to Enshemesh, and on to Galiloth, which is opposite the ascent of Adumim, and continued down to the stone of Bohan, son of Reuben. Then it went north to the slope opposite the Arabah, and proceeded into the plains. The border border continued to the north slope of Beth Hogla and ended at the northern bay of the Dead Sea, at the southern end of the Jordan. This was the southern border. The Jordan formed the border on the east side. This was the inheritance of Benjamin's descendants, by their clans according to its surrounding borders. These were the cities of the tribe of Benjamin's descendants by their clans: Jericho, Beth Hogla, Emek Keziz, Beth Araba, Zemaraim, Bethel, Avim, Perah, Ophrah, Kephar Ammonai, Ophni, and Geba, 12 cities with their settlements: Gibeon, Ramah, Beeroth, Mizpeh, Kephirah, Moza, Rechem, Irpael, Tarala, Zelah, Ha'elef, Jebus, that is Jerusalem, Gibeah, and Kiriath, 14 cities with their settlements. This was the inheritance for Benjamin's descendants by their clans.
There's a name in here. I thought it was Oprah. It's Ophrah. I was going to say, oh, that's Oprah. But no, it's Opera. All right. Oh, I will be back soon. I'll be doing I'm going to chit chat on my clothes. Yeah, it is closed. I'll be doing a morning chit chat on my other channel, everybody. So if everybody is subscribed to my other channel, sorry, I'll be there soon. Oh, BKB? I like how I did my bangs. Nice. Peace out.